Let's check out this why I'm no longer vegan scumbag.
Oh my gosh, this is so weird.
Okay, already, I don't know you, never seen you a day in my life, and you're already so fucking annoying. Oh my god, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this. Like, all this nervousness and hype and giddiness just to tell people that you're an animal murderer? You're annoying. She's been vegan for 9 years. I've never seen her. Never been introduced to her channel ever. I don't know anything about you. And it's sad that this is the first time that I'm being introduced to you in this way, that you're a why I'm no longer vegan fucking reject.
Says it all, I'm not vegan anymore. And I feel like this is a big reason why I haven't really just been on YouTube like in the last month. I feel like I haven't even filmed a video in like 2 months. I did upload one recently. That one was pre-filmed and it needed to go out, but I just have not been on my YouTube game, and I think it's because I feel like I can't even be myself on camera anymore because I have had this huge lifestyle shift and I want to share it with you guys, but at the same time I'm like so nervous. I'm so nervous because I have built such a platform being vegan. Like that was honestly my whole identity on social media and also off social media. Like, I just had this conversation with my friend.
Isn't it funny how she's like showing all the evidence? Like she have photos coming in as if like she have something that she's trying to prove. Bananas and strawberries and granola and peanut butter, almond butter. Like that is a plant-based diet, you estúpido bitch, okay?
Last night, and he was like, yeah, it's still so weird for me because you were vegan for like almost a decade, 9 years, and it felt like that's just who you were. Everything about it,
No, you were not vegan. You were nothing like veganism, okay? Nothing about what you was doing had anything to do with animal liberation, animal rights. What you have shown your audience so far is nothing but you eating plants. Banana smoothie recipes, strawberry, blueberries. Like, this is a plant-based diet, okay? You are dieting for your own benefits, whatever that may be. And that's okay if you want to adopt a plant-based lifestyle, a plant-based diet. There's nothing wrong with that. But do not confuse that with veganism, because that's not veganism. Veganism is animal liberation.
Like loved, I dove into. Also, I feel like I accidentally just became also like a vegan YouTuber. I made a lot of what I eat in a day content that people loved. I was invited to like speak on a panel at VegFest LA. I was invited by Mr. and Mrs. Vegan. Like I was one of those vegan YouTubers, and it's wild to
You were not fucking vegan. You were not vegan.
Look back because it was like one of like also like the best times of my life. I had so much fun. I have so much to say, and I feel like I'm gonna be rambling and things are gonna be all over the.
So if the best times of your life was when you were vegan, then why would you stop being vegan? Mind you, she wasn't vegan.
I apologize for that. I have not been vegan for the last 4 months. It was something I really just needed to like figure out on my own because I didn't know if this was something I really wanted to do long term. I was like testing out different foods. I wanted to see how my body reacted before I even like said anything online. And I can now
This is how you know the people who's not vegan. They all talk the same. I wanted to know what my body was signaling to. Like just these things about like connection to my body and me trying to feel more connected to my body.
say that I feel better and I think this is the right decision for me. So I went vegan my senior year of high school. I was 17 years old, and when I discovered it on YouTube, it seemed like the perfect diet to me. Like you're eating basically just fruits, vegetables, like just plain healthy food, and you're helping the environment. You're not hurting any animals. I just loved the idea of it.
Isn't it weird how she mentioned that it's a benefit for the animals? But then why would you stop? This is the part where we're gonna have to listen in for.
sophomore year of high school. I had it for a year and I had a really unhealthy relationship with food. Luckily, I was able to recover from that. I had a great support system and I was just like fully excited to just like eat all the foods again, like without any internal pause. So I binged ate like crazy. By the time I hit the beginning of my senior year, I got really, really ill. Turns out my like gallbladder was going to burst. I genuinely think I just put my body under so much stress. And before that, I also like had my appendix removed when I was in middle school. I am now down 2 organs. I don't have an appendix. I don't have a gallbladder. I had to reflect a lot and I was like, dude, what am I doing wrong? And that's when I really discovered veganism on YouTube and it like solved everything internally for me. I was like, I'm eating all these healthy foods. I'm doing all these great things for the planet and I'm gonna also look great. So I went vegan and I went.
Notice she didn't mention the animals that time. She just mentioned the environment and she said, oh, I'm gonna look so great.
Overnight, have never been vegetarian a day in my life. Like I was just like, let's go. If any of you like watched vegan content like around that time, like this was the very beginning of 2015 and the types of like diets that were promoted for being vegan were like wild, like raw till 4, 80-10-10. I followed a raw till 4 pretty religiously, which is like I was eating like raw fruits and vegetables until 4 p.m. and then after 4 p.m. that's when I could finally eat cooked foods, and that was usually like very basic starchy cooked foods like a huge bowl of white rice or chopped up potatoes that were like cut into french fries. I kept it very, very basic. I was obsessed with lemon pepper back then. I would like douse that stuff in lemon pepper, lime.
Okay, maybe she will and I'll give her the chance to, but isn't it kind of shady how she mentions Raw Till 4 without mentioning Freelee, the banana girl, the founder of Raw Till 4? And then I feel like she kind of was being shady by saying I was following it religiously, because I feel like she's basically trying to say like it was like a religion. Raw Till 4 is actually pretty freeing because it allows you to eat both raw foods and cooked foods, so you're not restricted either way. It works for a lot of people. I like to eat what I want when I want. That's just how I am.
Hot sauce. I'm like salivating talking about it. I followed that stuff religiously based on just the YouTubers I was watching. Like Freelee the banana girl was a huge one. I would make smoothies with 10 bananas in it. 10 bananas. Like that in itself is 1,000 calories. I would have that. I would throw so much spinach in there. And that was my breakfast. And then for lunch, I would have 5 apples. I would chop them up and I would like douse them in like cinnamon. For dinner, I would have this like fat bowl of cooked white rice and I would like eat it with like maybe lettuce and just like make these little lettuce cups. It's so embarrassing looking back, but that's like just what was normalized back then. And what's crazy also, I gained a lot of weight actually. I gained like 20 or 30 pounds, but it was weird because I just didn't care. It's something I like look back so fondly on because I went vegan for the wrong reasons, but I stayed for the right reasons. I loved how I felt. I loved what it stood for. And at that point, I just didn't even care what my body looked like. This is just a mindset that I had back then. Like there were good foods and bad foods and vegan foods are just like all good foods. So I ate as much as I wanted. I didn't feel bad about it. And it was great. Around my...
Well, you can't just down vegetable oil. And she already admitted just now that she went vegan for the wrong reasons. I mean, you didn't go vegan at all, so you didn't go vegan for the wrong reasons. You were never vegan. You were a narcissist who wanted to look a certain way, and that's it. She did mention the animals, and don't get me wrong, like, that's a throw-in bonus for people like this, but that's not the driving factor as to why they do what they do, as to why they adopt these lifestyles and these diets. So, she was never vegan.
As well, that's when I was like also deep into making YouTube videos. All I cared about was veganism, so I started doing a lot of what I eat in a day videos that skyrocketed my channel.
That's not veganism, you fucking retard. Stop telling people that. You're trying to brainwash people. That's all you're trying to do. You're trying to brainwash people.
Like people just loved my vegan content. It was a weird thing for me because it was such a new diet for myself, but then at the same time people were like looking to me. What do I eat in the dorm? Like how am I navigating this diet in college? And honestly guys, like it was so hard back then. Like I am so shocked I was even able to be vegan like all 4 years of college. The options were not great. I just ate whatever I had in my dorm room. I had a lot of like rice rolls, almond butter, dates. I had a lot of dates. I had like frozen veggies in our mini.
The problem with these people is that they're fucking stupid. Why are you trying to eat weird now that you're vegan? Why? Why do people do this? You go vegan and then you try to eat weird. Stop trying to be raw. Stop trying to be special. Stop trying to do things weird. Eat the same you ate before. Just eat the vegan version. Eat the plant-based vegan version. Stop trying to be weird. Stop trying to be different. Stop viewing this as a journey for your skin to get better or whatever the fuck. Do it for the animals and then everything else will fall in line, I promise you.
Throw it in the microwave and add a little mini rice cooker. I would make like so much rice in the dorm. It was a tough thing for me to do, but I loved it so much so I just didn't care. You know, I just really enjoyed being vegan like all throughout college, and my friends were so supportive. Like if we ever like were to go out, grab dinner together, they'd be like, oh, like is there anything vegan on the menu? Like
at this point, she's just exploiting the word vegan. I'm just gonna let her talk, but I'm just letting you know the word vegan is being heavily exploited throughout this whole entire video.
Did not feel like I was holding myself back at all. Also just wasn't like eating a lot of protein back in the day. And I remember like if anyone ever asked me like, oh, are you eating enough protein? Like that would like just annoy me because I'm like, all foods have protein. What are you talking about? But I never really realized like what they were really talking about until I honestly started working out a year ago. Because I've gotten so into it, I also have just been focusing more on my diet, and I've realized that I am not eating enough protein. Started upping my protein shakes. I would have like a protein shake in the morning. I would have vegan like Greek yogurt, and I would make protein coffee. I would vamp up my lunches and make them larger. I was eating more food for the amount of protein that I needed, and at the same time it made me feel horrible. And I was like trying to eat real.
Why is it that when people become vegan, now suddenly they're counting protein intake? Like they're counting the amount of grams of protein that they're getting. Like you were not doing that before. Again, you go vegan and then you start acting weird. Be vegan, be normal. This bitch over here counting fucking grams of protein. Like you were not doing that when you were not vegan. When you were 16, 17, when you were growing up as a kid and you was just eating animals, you weren't like, okay, I just ate this chicken wing, and this chicken wing have 3 grams of protein. Like, you weren't doing all of that. You weren't adding and subtracting and doing all this stupid shit.
Like whole foods, but the amount of food that I needed to eat was just like making me feel worse. I was having like indigestion. I started to incorporate digestive enzymes because I felt like the food was just sitting in my stomach. It was not moving anymore. I ended up going to the doctors because I was like, something's wrong with my digestion. They did a blood test on me. It turns out I'm like slightly sensitive to like wheat, tomatoes, and peanuts, which honestly makes sense because every time I eat like any meal like that's heavy with tomatoes, I get such a bad stomach ache.
But my thing is this, did that only started happening when you became vegan? Or before you was vegan and you was still eating peanuts and what she said, and wheat and tomatoes? You were eating these things before. I'm sure you was eating pizza and you was eating wheat cereals and you was eating other things that had these ingredients in it. But now suddenly you're vegan and now, oh, my body can't take wheat and tomatoes. Like, you're just a stupid fucking liar.
Don't get me started. But that made me realize like there are certain foods out there that my body just don't agree with. Eating so much vegan protein powder and tofu.
But my thing is this, if your body is not agreeing with peanuts and tomatoes and wheat, then don't eat peanuts, don't eat tomatoes, and don't eat wheat. But eat everything else that's plant-based. Problem solved, stupid bitch.
And beans, I love beans, but like every day, there's no way. Also, I was like gassy like crazy. So embarrassing. I was always bloated. So I like came to the realization like maybe I should start incorporating foods that were high in protein and maybe not plant-based. I like was debating if I really wanted to do it. You know when like something big happens in your life, it kind of like pushes you to like go outside of your comfort zone. Like when you have like a really bad breakup and then you like chop all your hair off. That's basically what happened. I got in a really bad mindset and I was like, you know what? F it. I'm just gonna like try out different foods now. I'm just gonna do it. And I loved it. It was insane to me like how much my body just took it in. The way I had no stomach ache whatsoever. The way my stomach just remained flat. Like it digested it like no problem. My body is now reacting in the way it should when it comes to food. I'm eating it. It's digesting properly.
What is it? What are you talking about? What did you eat that magically made your stomach flat? What?
energized because of my food. I'm feeling full longer throughout the day. It's just been such a game changer for me. I was also studying nutrition in college. I worked with a really great dietitian and I learned so much about different types of diets out there, like based on your genetics, your blood type. I really learned that different people require different nutrients. And at that time, I genuinely thought like, I think my body loves a plant-based diet. It's what energizes me. It's what keeps me going. I mean, also, I'm 10 years older than when I first started being vegan. And the nutrients I feel like that my body wants are different than what it was back then. The foods and the nutrients that my body wants right now, being 27, are gonna be different than when I'm 80. And right now, I'm really just enjoying this time in my life where there's no stress on food. I love having my freedom back, really enjoy the social aspect of food. I'm able to go out with my friends, like not even worry about it anymore. I really want to just start incorporating more foods in my diet and I want it to be no stress. And that's just something that I think my body needs right now. But I just want to thank you guys for watching this video, for hearing me out. It's been a long journey for me. Like,
I mean, I didn't get to the very end of this video, but it looked like she's already finalizing the video. And she did not say which animal products that she put back into her diet. So I don't know what's going on with that. But apparently she ate some kind of animal product and now she is feeling better. Her stomach is flat all of a sudden. I mean, which animal product it is? Is it cheese, which has a lot of fat in it? I can't see that making your stomach flat. Is it meat, which has cholesterol and fat? Can't see that making your stomach flat. Is it eggs, which is loaded with cholesterol and fat? Could that have possibly made her stomach flat? I'm gonna say no. So you're just disingenuous. I mean, let's let this play to the end. Maybe she'll say something, right? Maybe she'll reveal it.
Start being vegan? No, not at all whatsoever. Being vegan genuinely healed me from my disordered eating. Like, I can look at food now in such a healthy way. I'm able to eat freely and I'm able to just like enjoy food the way it is. Like, there's no stress with it whatsoever. There's no good foods and bad foods. I'm able to eat a very just mindful diet. So I'm really looking forward to just see like what the future holds for me, like the type of content I can make. I really hope a lot of you guys can be understanding and kind of see where I'm coming from.
No, I don't. I don't want to see where you're coming from because you're not the victim. I'm going to see from the animal's perspective. I'm going to see where they're coming from. Going around spreading misinformation about veganism, you're exploiting the word to its very core. You need to go do your homework and you need to go stop being such a narcissist. Oh, I went vegan. And then she's showing photos of her holding bananas. Like, you're just an idiot. Altogether, you're an idiot. A comment from G/XB7RT.
Hope everything is good with you. Canvas Converse are vegan friendly. I'm not sure what his point was supposed to be. It's great she supports a smaller vegan brand, but the guy didn't have a point to begin with. Also, this sent me data gathering. I didn't realize how hard the obesity epidemic had hit Australia. Their numbers are just as extreme as the US. Statistically, obese parents teach children habits that create obese children. 2.
Yeah. I mean, thank you. Yeah, everything's alright with me. Are you saying that because I am swearing a lot or because my baby passed away? If it's because I'm swearing a lot, no, this is how I've always been. I grew up in a household where swearing was just normal. And nothing gets me more angry than animal cruelty, animal violence, animal murder. Because it's so unjust. Like, there's something about the fact that people think that they can get away with it because it's legal, so they come up with these excuses. Well, till next time.